Tiger Woods in talks with $1 billion golf deal. Okay. So him and other PGA Tour officials are in New York this week with multi-day negotiations with representatives from Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, PIF, aiming to finalize a deal that could see PIF investing over $1 billion into the PGA Tour enterprises. The framework agreement, originally announced on June 6, 2023, aims to unify professional golf by merging the PGA Tour and LIV Golf. Despite the initial 2023 December 31st deadline passing without a finalized deal, both sides remain committed to ongoing discussions. The timing of this meeting has drawn criticism from 9/11 Justice, a group accusing of Saudi government involved in the 9/11 attacks, especially given the proximity of Ground Zero and the anniversary of the attacks. PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan has emphasized that while negotiations are complex, they are progressing productively. Look, the way Saudi is going, I would not be surprised if they offer a $1 billion contract to Michael Jordan to make a comeback to go in Saudi and play basketball. I mean, they're willing to do anything it takes to go get anybody.
For
Tom.
1 day.
For 1 day, yeah. Well, what are your thoughts about this here with the $1 billion offering and what they're trying to do, Tom?
So what they did is Saudi funded, LIV Golf.
Yes.
And it created a competition. Remember when the USFL was formed and it was a competitor to the NFL? And it really wasn't a competitor, but the NFL was really annoyed because it took away some TV, not a lot, but it was just annoying. It was a distraction. They're trying to run the NFL brand, NFL Sunday Ticket, Red Zone, all these channels, and run their league without distraction. And all of a sudden you have this small group that does an offshoot, except they're funded by Saudi Arabia and billions of dollars. You got to remember, this is like the third billion, Pat. There's already been $1 billion put up where they've sponsored players, including Phil Mickelson, and given him huge personal service contracts and guarantees to go play with LIV Golf. So what Jay Monahan was forced because guess what? A couple of the LIV Golf players came back, played in PGA events, and won. And then LIV Golf was getting certain crowds, and they would play rock music. And anybody see the Phoenix Open? That's a PGA. There, you always see the people go crazy in Phoenix. There's a par 3 there that's got like stadiums, and people throw bottles out there, and it's crazy. LIV Golf had a couple of events that were on par with that. And so Jay Monahan is like, Pat, I don't want the second league to be around. We need to negotiate with them and merge. I don't want a competitor, especially one funded by Saudi. So they bring this, they say, hey, let's merge and let's talk about making it one unified thing. You'll put money in. But the boneheads pick the week of 9/11 to have public, news stories that they're negotiating. That was just wrong-headed. You don't talk about it right then because there are connections there that are in people's mind. But this is a story about a merger where the upstart would actually merge with the PGA and put some money in, and hopefully everybody be happy. But they sure were tone deaf about when they were going to have their negotiations.
Well, Pat, I know how much you absolutely love golf.
No question.
Every weekend.
On Sunday, you can't even talk to the guy.
It's just like every Sunday.
Don't bother me when I'm golfing.
Yeah, forget it.
Yep.
4 to 8 hours every Tuesday.
6 hours away from the family.
Get to work, Pat. Yeah. I mean, stop.
I've been doing it since Iran. Iran was big on golf, so it's like
he loves playing in the sand.
A lot of bunkers.
Bunkers,
there.
a lot of bunkers. Right. Everything's blowing up there. It's great. Look, I've been to a LIV Golf tournament here in Miami. We were invited by our friend, and we went there.
Guys, Adam is connected. It's just so you guys.
Just FYI.
Just
to golf?
Just a little nobody that sometimes gets invited places, and when I do mention it, I get shit on. But other than that,
so we have angry Tom today, sensitive feelings,
and I'm the angry patron. I'm just chill.
You're not. You
want my shirt, Tom?
By the way, dude, you're like in that level of consciousness. You're going willingness.
I'm willing. Let's joy and love, joy.
You're like the passive patriot over here. Let's step it up a little bit, guy.
Take my shirt off.
Stop talking crap about the shirt. Let Adam finish.
What LIV Golf is doing is an extension of what Saudi is doing. So if you're paying attention to what's going on in Saudi these days, first and foremost, they are the number one, basically opponent versus Iran in that region. They're basically jockeying for position for who's number one in that region. And then you have Turkey sort of on the European side of things. We'll see what they do. But Saudi basically had to make a decision, and they said, listen, Saudi Aramco is one of the top 5 market cap companies in the world. I think they're $2 trillion. I mean, they're massive.
Yep.
But that's their entire economy in Saudi. So the public investment fund, they basically said, listen, we need to diversify. we need to, after the whole Jamal Khashoggi, how do you say his last name?
Khashoggi.
Khashoggi. So I apologize.
The reporter that
from Turkey.
After that, they said we need to basically go on a PR offensive and show the world that we're not this type of person. And we can talk about what happened with Khashoggi and what happened. And
I was just upset. It was a crazy afternoon.
But they've went out there and they've been spending money on a sort of PR campaign to basically make Saudi look cool and welcome them. How many fights are going on in Saudi? The UFC's been out there. Didn't Tyson Fury do his fight out there with Nagano? They're doing fights. They're basically getting into the sports world.
Sport washing or something?
They're sport washing, basically. Great point. But they started this LIV Golf thing, and we've spent time with Majid and also the guy that runs the Saudi Wealth Fund. His name is Yasser. I'm just with Majid. But they're basically saying we got to get out there and show the world that we're more than just oil and Wahhabi Islam. And they've put out there...
Habibi.
Oh, my goodness. So they basically... We're negotiating with the PGA. They came out there and they said, listen, we're going to try to compete. We'd like to join forces. Hell no, we're not doing this. It's like a new upstart league trying to join forces with the NFL. Now, at this point, LIV Golf is basically neck and neck with the PGA, and they're splashing money around. They went and they got their CEO, Greg Norman, the Shark. They went and got players. You said Phil Mickelson. They got Dustin Johnson. They got Bryson DeChambeau out here in Miami, Brooks Koepka, Patrick Reed, Sergio Garcia, Bubba Watson. They're just splashing money. So you go to a guy. Imagine you're this guy. Ready for a case example? Hey, Phil, what's your total earnings ever from playing in the PGA? $200 million. Total over 20 years. Cool. We're going to pay you $200 million over the next losses. 2 years.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I'm going, guess what?
And we see, didn't Cristiano Ronaldo go play with Saudi? Didn't other players go play with Saudi?
Yeah.
They're throwing money around. They're buying the marketplace, and money talks and BS walks.
All right. So let's see what will take place there.
And by the way, do you know who invested in Jared Kushner? $2 billion from the Saudi Wealth Fund.
Same guys.
Same guys.
All right. So by the way, this Saturday, I am doing a book signing at local Fort Lauderdale. For those of you guys that want to copy the Academy and you can't find it at Barnes & Noble because it's selling out, if you go to the Barnes & Noble at Fort Lauderdale, that is the address, Rob. If you go a little higher, 2051 North Federal Highway, Fort Lauderdale, 3305. I will be there at noon signing books. They also have copies of Choose Your Enemies Wisely and Your Next 5 Moves. You buy the book, I'll sign it. All of us are going to be there. You'll meet a bunch of guys that will be there at the bookstore. I'd love to see Barnes & Noble look outside saying, what the hell is going on with all these value
it's going to happen too.
Anyways, we'll see you guys there. And then also for those who missed the Vol Conference, ridiculous conference, the recording is officially available for those of you around the world that couldn't attend. Now you can go to Rob. Can you put the link before or below, or is there a QR code?
I'll put the link.
If you can put the link in chat, or if you can put the link in comment section, go get it. I think it's like, 20 hours of content. I mean, one of the days I went 13 and a half hours straight. There's a lot of stuff about raising money. There's a lot of stuff on strategy. Will Guidara. I mean, it's just insane event that we had. But the recording is officially available for the Vault.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.